Okay, so we are simultaneously doing the training. We are also live on Facebook, and at the same time, we are live on YouTube too. So I believe we are about to start. Probably will start at exactly 7:15. So that's 2 minutes from now, while we are gathering for participants online through our Facebook page. But to those who are already on YouTube, kindly stay with us. And as what I've mentioned, we are gathering more participants through our FB Live page. So right now, I think we have four participants on Facebook. We're getting there, and we have six participants on YouTube. So let's give them a couple of minutes, and then we'll start at exactly 7:15, and that's 1 minute from now. And as what I've mentioned, we have a very interesting topic today because sa Binisaya pa mo ni lisod kaayo nga topic. Daghan kayo mga a lot of people are having challenges in terms of preposition. So this is something that we need to highlight for today's session. So for the first three sessions, we talked about the rules, subject verb agreement. We had grammar clinic. We also talked about verb tenses in session number three, and I hope that in one way or another, we're able to help you clarify ambiguity, specifically with subject verb agreements. As what I've mentioned, we'll start 1 minute from now, and I can't wait to see you all. So, kindly, while waiting for the others, if you can share this video so we can reach out to more participants. For session number one, we had over 1,000 viewers, and then we are getting bigger. In session number two, I think we had over 3,000 viewers, and we also had another 1,000 viewers for session number three, and our community is getting bigger and bigger, and that's because of you. So thank you very much for ceaselessly supporting this advocacy, and I hope that I was able, I'm able to inspire, and I was able to help you specifically with the rules in the English language. So right now, I think we have some 13 participants, and we are gonna start in 30 seconds. So again, please, if you can share this live video on YouTube or Facebook, share it to your friends so we can reach out to more participants. At the end of the day, we're doing this to help those who are in dire need of the English training. Shout out daw. Hi, Dragoness. Nice to see you. And I hope that you are going to stay with us all throughout. This is just about 40 minutes discussion for today. And then, hello. We have some participants who are watching all the way from Tanhay. Good evening. Write down your, can you also type your location para ma-shout out nato? We have from Tanhay. We do have from Sibulan. Maragdagan tag participants today. Rainhill, thank you very much for attending. Watching from Tanhay. Joward, where are you from? Justil, where are you from? Ay, wala na ko na-feel ang presence ni Sir Roland karon. Are you with us, Sir Roland and Kenny? Gretel, Dennis, Ma'am Sue, are you with us? So this is just a 40-minute session. We'll have a very short session today. From Tunga Tunga, Darwin. Okay, good. So we have from Darwin. So pwede na ko mo randay ani og kuan sa ni any uh unsa ni nga lang, political position. Okay, we have from Darwin. Inspiro in Dumaguete, Joward. And I can recall Joward won something last time, right? So Joward, watch out for that. We'll be giving more loads today. Manila. Okay, very good. We have some participants from Manila. Okay, so as of press time, just want to inform everyone that we have five participants on YouTube and we have over 20 participants from Facebook. And I think we're all set to start. Actually, we have 31 participants on Facebook. So I think we're all ready to start. Again, for the benefit of those who were not able to participate in the first three sessions, we talked about subject verb agreement, we talked about grammar rules, we talked about um, what else? We talked about parallelism, object of the preposition. So we pretty much covered a lot in the first three sessions. And if you missed one of the sessions, you can revisit our sessions and you can check it out in my YouTube channel. Everything is uploaded there. So again, we are giving certificate of completion to those who will be able to complete all the sessions. So please, you need to complete all the sessions so that you will be getting the certificate of attendance or completion. So we now have 33 viewers on Facebook. So I think we're all set to start. So I'll be your so I'm your facilitator for today. My name is Jerol Sibala, and I am connected with Inspiro and Infocom as part of the leadership and development team. And we've been doing this for the past four sessions. So, welcome everyone to session number four. And as what I've mentioned, we are going to highlight on prepositions. All right. So, a preposition, just so you know, always has an object. So, which is usually a noun or a pronoun. And the preposition with its object and any modifiers is called prepositional phrase. Sometimes we call it modifiers, we call it object of the preposition. But just so you know, preposition always has an object. Now, for it to make perfect sense, you notice you always say one of the boys, right? And one of the agents. Preposition there, and the object is supervisors. I'll give you another example. After several minutes, when you say after several minutes, after is the preposition and minutes is the object of the preposition. Another example, when I say the flock of tiny swallows, of is our preposition and the object there is swallows. Or for example, you say over the trees, near the lake, over the tree. With that example, over the trees, over is our preposition, trees is the object of the preposition. Or when you say near the lake, near is our preposition, and obviously our object is the lake. So, as what I've mentioned, a preposition always has an object, okay? Or we call it the object of the preposition. When we talk about the preposition, it may follow rather than precede its object. So it can be before or after the object. And it can, in my previous examples, with the examples that I gave, like over the trees, near the lake, for the door, after several minutes, the prepositions there were placed before the object. But sometimes or prepositions may follow rather than precede its object, and it can be placed at the end of the sentence if it falls there naturally. For it to make perfect sense, I'll give you an example. I'll type in our chat box. Okay, when I say what was she talking about, can you help me find in my question where is the preposition there? Can you type where is the preposition? What was she thinking? I mean, sorry, what was she think? What was she talking about? Where is our preposition there? Okay, I'm waiting. Where is our preposition? Okay, according to Glenn, about is our preposition, and that is correct. Now, question now is, where is our... So again, in that question, what was she talking about? About is our preposition. What is the object of the preposition about? Okay, so again, our preposition is about. All right. Rule for preposition. When we talk about preposition, you have to avoid using unnecessary prepositions such as of. Common example is when you say, how do you cope up with, right? Cope up with. Instead of saying cope up with, you say cope with. So avoid using unnecessary prepositions when you say off of or inside of. I'll give you a sentence. This is an this is incorrect sentence. So when you say inside of the cave, the explorers turned on their headlamps. Again, inside of the cave, the explorers turned on their headlamps. So that is incorrect because you used unnecessary prepositions. So instead of saying inside of the cave, you might want to say inside the cave. So you remove unnecessary prepositions. Or when you say, how do you cope up with this pandemic? You say, how do you cope with this pandemic? So another rule to remember when we talk about preposition is to avoid using unnecessary prepositions such as off of or inside of. Okay? You also avoid adding the preposition up to verbs unnecessarily. That was what I was talking about when I say cope up with. Questions so far? Okay, I know that we're having challenges specifically with the in, on, and at. So allow me to share and discuss with you about in, on, and at. So just so you know, preposition links nouns, it links nouns, pronouns, and phrases to other words in a sentence. Prepositions can be used in expressing spatial relations, where just like when you're using prepositions of location, prepositions of direction, and prepositions can also be used in expressing time. That's prepositions of time. The very common prepositions that I can think of are in, on, and at. All right. So let me share with you and let me help you understand these common prepositions so that para ma-avoid nato ang mga errors when we're posting something on Facebook because we have some friends who are very meticulous to this. Okay. Now we'll start with at. Can someone tell me when do we use the preposition at? Shout out to our 42 viewers on Facebook. Hello, everyone. And we also have a considerable number of viewers also on YouTube. We now have five viewers on YouTube and 41 viewers on Facebook. So when do we use at? At is that is treated as a point in relation to which another object is positioned. Always remember when we're talking about at, we are talking at a certain point. Okay, point. I'm at the bank. Okay, you're not inside. I mean, you're not in the bank. You're not on the bank, but you're at the bank. All right. We'll give you some examples later on, but just remember, always remember that when you use at, we are talking about a point at a certain point. Okay? We use on. This is defined with respect to a surface on which it rests. When we use the preposition on, we consider the object on surface. When we talk about on, that is to surface, on top of it. Okay? And lastly, we use in. And this lies within the boundaries of an area or within confines of a volume. So when you say in, that is within the area or within the volume. So I have a question here, and kindly help me what specific preposition to use. Example, when I say my car is blank my house, is it in my house? Is it on my house? Or is it at my house? Type in if it's in, on, and at. My car is blank the house. Is it in, on, or at? According to Ein, this is at. Okay, we'll find out later. Maisel said it's at. Glenn said at. I think everyone got it right. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Job well done. My car is at the house. You're gonna say it's on your house. It's at the surface of your house. I don't know how it looks like, but you see, a house is something like that. How are you gonna park it? Kind of challenging, right? But it's at the house. What about this? There is a new roof. Blank the house. There is a new roof. Blank the house. There is a new roof. Blank the house. And the correct answer is very good. You're getting it. You're actually ako mga learners, binisayon ako para intense. You're all very good. Awesome. The correct answer is on. Awesome job. On the house. What about this? Before we proceed with our discussion and before we get to know more about the functions of at, in, and on, the house is blank the county. I'll type it. All right. What do you think is the preposition to use? Hmm? What do you think is the preposition to use? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At. Okay, a lot of you mentioned at. And then a lot of you mentioned in. Okay. Okay, the correct answer is the house is in the county. In. So meaning um it's inside the area. In, yes, that is correct. A lot of you got it right. It's inside the area. So we use in. Okay. Let's move on. We're gonna talk about at. This time we're gonna use at for location, destination, and direction, and the least specific of the preposition in its spatial orientation. Again, we use at this time for location, destination, and direction. All right. Example: Tom is waiting for his sister at the bank. Or Sue spent the whole afternoon at the fair. So we notice we used the preposition at here for location, right? Again, we use this for in its spatial orientation. Specifically, functioning for location. Another example, we use at for destination. I'll give you an example. We arrived at the house. We arrived at the house. Or when you say the waiter was at our table immediately. So this time we use the preposition at for destination. Okay? So you notice when you say we arrived at the house, you have that destination. Okay? The destination is the house. When I say the waiter was at our table immediately, the destination is the table. So we use at for location, we use at for destination, and we also use at for direction. When do we use at for direction? I'll give you an example. When you say the policeman jumped at the assailant. Okay, you're not going to say the policeman jumped on the assailant or in the assailant. That's so wrong. So try to picture it. You have the preposition for direction, and we use the preposition at. Or we say the dog jumped. Not you're not gonna say on my face or in my face. So for direction. So the dog jumped at my face, and that really scared me. All right. So we use at, just to recap, we use at for location, destination, and also direction. Any questions so far? Shout out to Joatam, sir. Hello. Jet Jetter, Nelma. We have a lot of representatives from Inspiro and Infocom. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session. And I hope that today is a day filled with a lot of helpful realizations in relation to preposition. Kuyaw daw kung the waiter is on our table. And that is true. How do you imagine that doing dirty dancing on the table? That's kind of funny there. Okay, we use prepositions. This time we talk about prepositions using in and on. So for nouns denoting in enclosed spaces, we use on for surface, and we use in for area. Okay, surface for on, in is to area. I'll give you an example. When you say three players are practicing on or in the field. Again, on is the surface, in is to area. So when I say three players are practicing blank the field, is it on or in the field? Are we talking about the surface or we're talking about the area? Okay, on the field, according to Marge. All right. On, according to Daryl. On the field, according to Miss KP, because they are accordingly playing on the surface of the field. Okay. Mindavi. Hello, Mindavi. Nice to see you. In the field. All right. We have a lot actually who answered in, and then we also have a lot who answered on. Now, you'd be surprised that it actually just depends on the area. Remember, we can use in and on for enclosed spaces. So if we're talking about the players on the surface playing, then we use on. But if the area is enclosed, then we use in. So going back to my example, three players are practicing on the field, that will do. Or when you say three players are practicing in the field, if it's enclosed field, then we use in. So both will do. What about this? Three cows are grazing in the field if it's enclosed, or on if we're talking about the surface. Okay? What about this? I need you to analyze this one. Two boxers are blank the ring. Is it on the ring or in the ring? If the ring is enclosed, in the ring, according to Miss KP. On, okay, we have a lot who answered on. Actually, if it's enclosed, then the correct answer is in. But on the ring is also fine, like on the surface of the ring, right? But again, I think the right preposition to use is in because that is enclosed. Enclosed, yes. So in the ring, that is enclosed by ropes, I believe so. If you can see, I mean, it's enclosed by ropes, so that's in the ring. Now let's talk about using in and on. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to type it in our chat box, and I'd be more than happy to clarify ambiguity, specifically with the prepositions. That is correct, Ein, enclosed by ropes. So in. Let's talk about prepositions using in and on for metaphorical boundaries. Okay. Example is when you say field pertaining to academic discipline. So what you say, she is a leading person in the field of information and information technology. In. Okay. We use in and on are normally used as well for idioms, right? Idioms or following the generic pattern. I'll give you a sentence and help me identify what preposition to use. Is it in, on, and at? Okay. Example: when I say the children are playing blank the street, is it in, on, or at the street? Yes, Miss KP. In for acad. Yes, acad. That is correct. On the street, on the street. What if it's at the center of the street? It's in, right? In the street, right? Okay, I want to stress this out that you use in and on special I mean the usage of in and on when we're talking about transportation. This is very common siya nga error and you have to understand this. When do we use in for transportation? When do you say I'm on the bus? I'm in the bus? I'm Before I was kind of perplexed and confused about when to use in and on when we're talking about transportation. Okay? So I'm sure a lot of you are having challenges as well. When do we say I'm in the bus? I'm on the bus? I'm sure a lot of you are having challenges with that. Now, I'm going to simplify it. We use in with a car. I'm inside the car. I'm in the car. Okay? In is used with a car. Now, we use on if we're talking about public or commercial transportation. Example, I'm on the bus, I'm on the plane, I'm on the train, I'm on the ship. Okay? We use in with a car and we use on for commercial transportation or public transportation. I'm on my way to my work and I'm on Easy Ride. Public transportation. So on. Is that clear? Any questions with that? In is for the car, on is for any public transportation or commercial transportation. I'm on MRT. You're not gonna say I'm in MRT, but it's on MRT. Okay? On because that is a commercial or public transportation. Now let's talk about in and on used with means of transportation. Now in is used. Guys, let me know if you have questions, huh? I since you don't have questions, I assume we're still good. Okay, Godry. Hello, nice to see you again, Godry. Very, very consistent ni si Godry. So we use in when the carrier is steady. We use on when carrier is in motion. Okay. In is used when the carrier is steady. On is used when carrier is in motion. My wife stayed in or on the bus while I got out at the rest stop. Or the passengers sat in or on the plane awaiting takeoff. So again, we use in if the carrier is steady, on if the carrier is in motion. All right, good. Now, in addition to in, on, and at, probably we may be having challenges also in relation to some prepositions, including but not limited to, toward, into, and onto. When do we use to? When do we use toward? When do we use into and onto? Okay. When we talk about, prepositions can be used for direction to express movement toward something. The basic preposition of a direction is to. Okay. To. And it signifies orientation toward a goal. Okay. What do you want to become? I want to become a doctor. Okay. To is used to signify orientation toward a goal. Okay. When the goal is physical, again, when the goal is physical, to implies movement in the direction of the goal. Example, Jerome returned to his dorm. Okay. The goal is physical. Again, to is used here to imply movement in the direction of the goal. So my goal is to go back to my dorm. When the goal is not physical, to marks a verb. To is attached as an infinitive and expresses purpose. I think in our previous session, we also talked about infinitive phrases. And I hope you still can recall that when a verb is attached to, that is now part of the infinitive phrase, and therefore that verb is no longer the main verb, right? And the main verb can be seen before or after the infinitive phrase. I'll give you an example. Ling washed her dog in order to rid it of fleas. Okay. To rid is infinitive phrase, but we use to there for if the goal is not physical, and this is now part of the infinitive phrase. Okay. You want to know more about infinitive phrase? You can recap and you can revisit our previous topic. And the discussion has already been uploaded in our YouTube channel. Now, take note that the two uses can also occur together in a single sentence. You can have a sentence with both, with two uses, wherein one is used as destination and the other one is in order to. Okay, in order to. So I'll give you an example. Jerome returned to school. So obviously, to here is used as destination to get his book. That is in order to get his book. So the two can be used together in a single sentence, and that's fine. Now, what about onto and into? Do you have any questions? Any questions with when to use at, in, on, and to? So far we have covered four prepositions. So right now, just to recap and to simplify, we use in, for cars, on for public transportation or commercial transpo. We use in if we're talking about something that is enclosed in an area inside the volume. We use on if we're talking about the surface, right? You're gonna say on the table. You're not gonna say in the table, but on the table. And then we use at if we're talking about something that is at one point, okay, at a certain point. At the bank, for example. So far we have covered four prepositions. Let me know if you have some questions. Otherwise, I would assume that everything's clear, right? So let's move on to and into. Onto, I'll type it, versus into. So when do we use onto and into? According to Miss KP, let me check here. Okay, hold on. Ah, I cannot send it. Why can't I send it? All right, let's move on. Onto versus into. Onto is used if it signifies movement toward a surface. Okay? If it signifies movement, oh, this is the surface, it signifies movement toward the surface, we use onto. Now, we use into if it signifies movement toward the interior of the volume. Example, this is the glass. Okay, the fly is going into. That is inside the glass. Okay, if it's if the movement is um, again into signifies movement toward the interior of the volume. Again, for onto, that is toward a surface. Okay, I'll give you an example. Mike jumped in or into the pool. Or you say gel fell onto the floor. On or onto the floor. Both will do. The crab washed up on or onto the shore. Any questions so far? Comments? Hi, University Next. We're live. Miss KP, hello. We're live on YouTube, and right now we have a lot of of viewers. I am into you. Hi, Rita Peeps. Nice to see you. Agnes, hello po. Any questions? Let me know if you have some questions. So, generally speaking, onto can be replaced by on with verbs of motion. Example, when you say Bert jumped onto the mat, that's fine if we're gonna use on. Or when you say Crispin fell onto the floor, that's fine if you say Crispin fell on the floor. Or when you say G climbed onto the back of the truck, if it's okay if you say G climbed on the back of the truck. So again, generally, onto can be replaced by on with verbs of motion. Any questions, comments, or suggestions? More examples of onto. Okay, I'll give you more examples of onto. Um, all right, I'll give you more examples. Okay, let's talk about differences of to and from toward. All right. So when you're you drive toward the city or the city limits and turn north. When you're giving direction, or the plane was headed toward a mountain, take me to the airport. Take me to the airport, please. Another example, um, when you say Carol fell on to the floor, or when you say Carol fell on the floor, that's fine. Eman dived into or in sorry, into the water. So um so there is this completion in terms of the action. But if you say Eman is in the water, that's different thing, right? Okay, another example of into and onto, when you say the programmer went into the client's office, or you say the technician went in, not into, right? You're not going to say the technician went into. You say the technician went in. Our new office mates moved into the area next door yesterday. Our new office mates moved in yesterday. Or will you say the cat sat on the mat? Junmar is in the office. The doctor is in. You're not going to say the doctor is into. Any questions? We'll try to find some quizzes here in relation to prepositions. Questions? So let's recap, huh? We use in, we use at if we're talking about a certain point. All right? So we treated as a point in relation to which, sorry, let me adjust this one. Okay. In relation to which another object is positioned. Um, on is for the surface. In is inside the area or volume. Again, when you say my car is at my house and there is a new roof on the house, all right? So again, I think the most common in the prepositions, there are a lot of prepositions that you have to understand. There's underneath, above, beyond, after, of, in, and a lot more. So there are a lot of prepositions out there. And you want to know more about that, there are a lot of references online that we can use to know more about preposition. But to simplify, I'm here to simplify when do we use the prepositions in, on, at, toward, into, to, and onto. So far, do you have any questions? Okay. So again ha, para dito malibog, for the last time ako i-recap. In, surface. Always remember, sorry, inside the area. On is to surface. At is to the point. Okay, I'm at the bank. I'm at the fair. Um, in is in the area. Okay, just want to make sure that everyone understands that. To is to the direction, toward. What else? Probably in our next meeting. I know that's a lot to take. Some of you may still be having challenges, specifically with the usage of in, on, at. So probably in our next meeting, I'll try to come up with some questions, and then we'll have a short quiz. That is just to gauge understanding, no, in terms of the prepositions, because preposition can change the the context. It can change the meaning, right? When you say I'm in versus I'm on, that can change its meaning. So you have to be extra cautious with preposition, and you have to understand when to use preposition. So probably in our next meeting, we'll have a short quiz to gauge your understanding, specifically with the usages of the prepositions. Any questions, comments, or suggestions? I believe we have Kenny on board and we still have a couple of minutes. Ken, do you have any questions for them? And we may be giving them load again to those to our winners today. Okay, it's game time before we call it a wrap. I have some questions, and then if you know the answer, type it in so that you will win some exciting or we're giving away 100 peso load, right? So we're giving 100 pesos free load depending sa inyuhang network preference. That's fine, but let me know if you're still with me for a quick game before we call it a wrap. Can you type me sa atong chat box just to make sure that I that you're still with me. And we have some viewers also on on YouTube. Thank you very much. We have 7 viewers on YouTube. Thank you. And also we have close to 40 viewers on Facebook. Are you still with me before we go on? Okay. Game pa ba? Game ta ha. Let's play a game before we call it a wrap. My first question is for 100 peso load. Okay, nata yung mga sponsors na. Thank you very much to our generous sponsors. Thank you, Kenny Orculio, Ma'am Sue, salamat sa sponsorship. Also from Inspiro and Infocom, thank you very much. We now have over 41 participants on Facebook. Okay, game na. First question. Can someone tell me that my exact birth day, including birth year, ha? So I was born on blank, including the year. Before I forget, when you talk about a month, that's in, right? I was born in December, example lang. Or I was born in November, or I was born in August. Okay, if it's not a specific date, I mean, it doesn't contain any specific date, then we use in for the month. But if it contains a specific date, I was born on November 5, something like that. So when was I born? Type it. hmm January 20, 1984. Okay. Joward getting there, very near. December 19, 1982. Okay. I was born on December 19, 1982. I think the first to answer the question, walay labot ni si Rara. Unsa man ni unay manira? Let's give it to Maisel Tuban. I think Maisel got it right. All right. Second question. Yeah, December 19. Kinsa man eh? Who's our winner? Si Maisel, can you PM me your number? Please PM me your number. All right, thank you. Next question. Walay unay ang pariente. That is correct. Walay unay. All right. Um, Next question. Thank you. Um, Unsa may akong other question? We had our outreach program before. I can recall, and we had our outreach program in um, Mabinay. Can someone tell me what specific barangay in Mabinay did we visit? And we call that project blank in Mabinay. So that's one of the barangays in Mabinay. I think you can search it in on you on Facebook if you're familiar with that. Medyo mahirap ba? Guess na lang what specific barangay in Mabinay. Lisod, Lisod, Mayapusi. Not really. Actually, murag lisod siya, no? Lisod siya. Anyway, here's my final question na lang, ha? Can some Lumbangan? No, not in Lumbangan. Actually, we had our outreach program. This is a yearly thing that we're doing in Inspiro and Infocom, and that is our corporate social responsibility day. And we went as far as Kangguhob in Mabinay. So medyo layo-layo jud mi ginaagtuan just to help our family, our team in Kangguhob. All right, that's in Kangguhob. Okay. Okay, easy question for 100 peso load, huh? Very, very quick because I have a meeting actually. Um, can someone tell me what's my course right now in St. Paul? Because I'm studying in St. Paul. Can someone tell me what's my current course? What's my current program that I'm enrolled in? Type away as fast as you can. You may win some exciting prizes. What's my course in St. Paul? Because I am currently enrolled in St. Paul University with this course. All right. I think the first to answer is Nelma Gravador. Congratulations, Nelma. That's Doctor of Business Administration. That is correct. All right, congratulations, Nelma. Guys, in as much as I want to give more load today, unfortunately, I have another meeting to attend to. Busy life of a trainer. But I hope that today is such a rewarding day for you. Please spread the news to everyone that we're doing free training to help. Especially those who need this kind of training, para we can reach out to more people. Because whether we like it or we like it, a lot of people really need this kind of training. And please, I need your help also if you can like my YouTube channel, Jeroel Sibala. I would appreciate that if you can like my YouTube channel so we can also reach out through YouTube. But for today, I want to thank you all for participating. Thank you for listening, and I really appreciate it. So from Inspiro and Infocom, we want to say thank you for supporting this initiative. And um, I want to let's call it a day. Thank you very much, everyone, and I'll see you in our next meeting. That would be on Friday. Kamsamnida. Thank you so much, everyone. See you on on our next meeting. Thanks, everyone.